Spider-Man is one of comics' most beloved heroes, yet Marvel seems like they absolutely hate every fiber of this fictional character's being. I mean seriously, out of all the characters they can choose from, the editorial staff just really seems to have a raging hate boner for Peter Parker.
What'd I do?
Just go to the office!
What'd I do?
Now there's a lot of terrible shit that they've done to him over the years, but let me just briefly run down the major ones.
Here comes Spidey! Pardon moi. Now's my chance.
Now I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but before Mary Jane, there was Gwen Stacy. Now Gwen Stacy was Spider-Man's first true love. In fact, even the creator of Spider-Man, Stan Lee, agrees with this sentiment, saying that he wished Peter and Gwen remained a couple. So naturally, since Spider-Man thought that he finally found his true love, they take Gwen Stacy and they fucking kill her.
My heart. I loved her. Wah.
And recently, just to fuck with them some more, they resurrected Gwen Stacy. And they let Peter talk to her for 5 minutes before she turned into dust. Side note, who the fuck is this artist? Like, how did Marvel willingly hire this artist to draw for their comic books? This is terrible. This looks like fucking shit. This is ugh. Anyways, in the comics, the Green Goblin is a big part of the reason why Gwen Stacy dies. Now, the Green Goblin is also known as Norman Osborn, and Norman Osborn is the father of Peter Parker's best friend, Harry Osborn. So naturally, the Marvel writers decided it would be a good idea to create a story where Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy had a secret affair, which ended in Norman impregnating Gwen Stacy with twins. Luckily though, this piece of shit storyline was retconned.
Spider Sting! Web swing! Web throw!
I'm sure everyone's familiar with Mary Jane, considering she's Spider-Man's most popular love interest. Believe it or not though, there was once a time where they were married. But like all good things that happened to Peter Parker, this didn't last long. And it's all thanks to this piece of shit storyline called One More Day. Now to give more context to that storyline, I would like to quickly recount the events of the Civil War. Now poor Spidey here decides it's a good idea to side with Iron Man, the fucking megalomaniac billionaire. So since Iron Man was pro-registration, Spider-Man subsequently has to reveal his identity to the world as Peter Parker. And since Spider-Man has so many villains, it leads to Aunt May getting blasted once he lets his secret identity go. And then Spider-Man's all like, "Hey Iron Man, Aunt May's in the hospital. I don't think I agree with your side anymore. I think I'm gonna go support Captain America." And then Iron Man's all like, "Oh yeah, but I gave you that cool Iron Spider suit, so fuck you." And then they fight, and then Spider-Man gets ambushed by Iron Man's pro-registration side, and then he almost dies. And then blah blah blah, some other stuff happens, Civil War wraps up, and then we go back around to One More Day, which happens afterwards. And basically, Mephisto, he's like the devil of the Marvel universe, and he's like, "Hey Spider-Man, I see that the AMA's like dying and shit. So like, if you're willing to trade me your marriage, I'll bring her back and also erase everyone's memory of knowing that you're Peter Parker." And of course Spider-Man agrees to this, because why wouldn't he? Now you may be thinking, well, you know, they're not married anymore, but at least they still have each other. Well, do I have some news for you, because in the current run of Spider-Man, Mary Jane is married to a guy named Paul.
I let everyone down.
Hey, you guys remember Norman Osborn, that guy who essentially fucking killed Gwen Stacy and has been harassing Spider-Man ever since he existed? Well, no worries, because he feels really bad about what he did, and he wants to be a good guy now. So they basically make Spider-Man Norman Osborn's little bitch.
Look at little Goblin Jr.
It's really sad how they've written Peter Parker in this current run of Amazing Spider-Man. Here in this panel, he's seen begging Norman Osborn to send him the suit because he's going to die from fighting the fucking Vulture. Mind you, Spider-Man has beaten cosmic beings before, and he's losing to an old man who has no powers at all. He just has a suit that lets him fly. And somehow Spider-Man's losing to that. With the in-canon explanation being that the Vulture was out for blood that day, so he was feeling particularly mad. I mean, at this point, with how they're writing Spider-Man, I wouldn't be surprised if he got his ass handed to him by Big Wheel. It's almost like the writers don't understand how powerful Spider-Man is. I mean, he literally killed someone just by punching them once. He's literally One Punch Man before One Punch Man. And yet, he's getting beaten by a geriatric man in a flying suit. I don't understand what the fuck is going on. And to make matters worse, Spider-Man is cucked by some dude named Paul, who is married to longtime love interest Mary Jane. Who the fuck is Paul, and why is he married to Mary Jane? Who knows? I guess the Marvel editorial staff was feeling particularly devious the day they decided to write this in the office. Now, this isn't the first time that Spider-Man has taken a backseat to one of his villains.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man at your service.
There was a brief period in the comics where Spider-Man was not Peter Parker. In fact, Peter Parker was dead. Now you may be wondering, well then who is this imposter Spider-Man? Well, none other than his longtime foe, Dr. Otto Octavius, better known as Dr. Octopus. So basically what happened was Doc Ock had terminal cancer and he was like, "Hey Peter, I'm dying of terminal illness. I want to say my last words to you." And then when Peter Parker came there, he was like, "Ah, did they all switcheroo?" And then their minds got swapped. And Peter Parker was inside of Doc Ock's dying body, and then he died. And then Doc Ock was like, "Yeah, I'm in Spider-Man's body now. Time to be Spider-Man." And basically, Doc Ock just parades in Peter Parker's body, and he plays the role of Spider-Man. And he's like, "I'm gonna be a better Spider-Man than Peter Parker ever was." And he falls in love with some midget lady who's a scientist. And then he creates a billion-dollar company called Parker Industries, and then Peter gets his body back. Now this is amazing. Like, things are looking up for Peter now. He got his body back. He's the owner of a billion-dollar company. He's got a new suit, and now he lost it, and he's back to being broke. My man Peter cannot catch a break. Literally anything good happens to him, it gets torn down 5 fucking seconds later. When will my boy Peter ever win? This fictional character is just a little plaything for Marvel editorials. Please help this man. Hashtag fucking show some love to Spider-Man, goddamn.